Today we're making sweet and smoky tofu bites. Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Tami from Nutmeg Notebook, and today I'm going to show you how to make my sweet and smoky tofu bites. Now this is a recipe that I have been making for years, and our grandchildren love it without the smokiness. So I'll talk about that as we do the marinade. And it's something that I make on a weekly basis. So these flavorful baked tofu bites are the perfect balance of smoky, sweet, and savory. They're marinated in a simple blend of coconut aminos, balsamic vinegar, maple syrup, and some wonderful spices. They bake up with a delicious flavor and a chewy texture that I love. So you can enjoy them hot out of the oven, tossed into salads, which I love to do. Also grain bowls. So with a grain and some greens and some tofu, you have a wonderful complete meal. They can go in a wrap, and they can even just be a snack in the afternoon. And it's a great little pick-me-up packed with protein. So easy to make, full of flavor. It's a go-to healthy part of my weekly meal prep. So let's get started. Now, I like to use this tofu. It's a firm tofu. I buy this at Costco. It's quite reasonable. You can get tofu in almost every grocery store, health food store, Whole Foods, Costco. Our Sam's Club doesn't carry it, but most places, even Walmart, has it. I do not press this. When I take it out of the package, I drain the water off, and then I just use some paper towels to dab it and get that excess moisture off of it, but I do not press it. Now, if you want, you can substitute a brick of tempeh instead of the tofu. That would also be delicious. So I just cut it, and so the way I do it is I cut it in half and then half again. Now you can cut it in as big or small of pieces that you choose. Now I'm going to cut this one more time. I actually like it to be in squares. If I was going to use it as a wrap filling, then it would be okay to make it long pieces. And then I just put it on a parchment paper rimmed baking sheet. And that's so it won't stick. It also makes cleanup quite easy as well. So I've cut that in half down the center. And super easy. I'm just separating it a little bit so that when I pour the sauce over, everybody has room to absorb it. So I am using coconut aminos. You could use tamari sauce. This is gluten-free. Tamari sauce is gluten-free. You could use soy sauce if you wanted. That does have a whole lot more sodium. So this is not a salt-free recipe because the coconut aminos does contain sodium. I'm also just using a regular balsamic vinegar. I like this one from Costco. It's very reasonably priced and delicious. So we will get started. Don't worry about quantities because I'm going to give you a link to a printable recipe on the blog. So this is 1/4 cup of coconut aminos, 3 tablespoons of the balsamic vinegar, and then I'm using a tablespoon of maple syrup. You could use date syrup if you want. My grandchildren just happen to love maple syrup. That's what they're used to. They like date syrup in some things as well. This is just for a little extra, little bit of sweetness to kind of balance out the acid that we have going in here. And then I have smoked paprika and chipotle chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of each of those, and then 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder. Now, if you don't want this to be so smoky, you could use regular paprika, and you could leave out the chipotle chili powder, but we really like this combination. It's not too smoky. Then I'm just going to use a little mini whisk just so I can get all of that garlic powder and the other seasonings mixed up in here. Now, I usually make a double batch of this. If I'm getting all the ingredients out, why not? That way I don't have to get everything out every week when I go to make this recipe. And it will be fine in the refrigerator. And then I just pour it over. Sometimes I will do 2 bricks at the same time on a bigger sheet, of course. But today I've have it on a baking sheet that will fit into my Breville Smart Oven Air, which is right over there behind me. And I only need about half of this today. But you see, I have enough that I could use it to make a brick of tempeh as well. And I just go like this just to get it all moved around. And I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees, and I'm going to put this in for 25 to 30 minutes. That's what works perfect in my Breville Smart Oven Air. You might have to adjust the temperature or the time depending on the oven that you have. And then I'm also going to turn everything over halfway through. So we'll be back when it's done. Okay, we're back. These are done. Pulled them out of the oven. So I did not get them turned at the halfway point because we were actually filming another video in between. So they got a little more brown than normal, but they're perfect. They're not burnt. They are actually going to be so delicious. Look at that. And so people always ask me about why they're so glossy if there's no oil. I don't know. It's just the combination of the vinegar and the coconut aminos and the maple syrup that they come out looking like this. And so they're just super delicious. So you bake them for the amount of time that's good for you. I like 30 minutes. These were in for 30 minutes. And for us, that's just perfect. Perfect. Look how gorgeous these are. So super delicious. So what have I made here? I made a little salad. So I have spring mix in here on the bottom. This is some cooked brown rice, some sliced red onions, shredded carrots. These are just Brussels sprouts that I cut in half, and I just steamed them in my microwave. Of course, the sweet and smoky tofu, some strawberries. I usually do like to incorporate some berries, either blueberries, strawberries, something like that, in my salads. And then some shredded cabbage. I just shredded it myself, but you can buy it already shredded. And then these are broccoli microgreens that I also love on this. So this reminds me a bit of a salad that I used to get at Amy's drive-thru when we had them, and they didn't do well here where we live, and so they closed, unfortunately. They had a salad similar to this, except instead of brown rice, it had quinoa, and then it also had a scoop of hummus on it as well. And then they served it with a miso dressing, which I never had because it had oil in it, but I have finally made one that is absolutely delicious. Tom and I love it. It's so good. We did film the recipe for this a few days ago. It will be up on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed, and we will have a printed recipe on the blog at nutmegnotebook.com for you as well. And it is lunchtime, so I am going to go ahead and pour my dressing on here. This is so delicious. I just love this dressing. We also just put up a lemon poppy seed. I'm calling it my sunshine lemon poppy seed, and it is delicious. Now, to top it off, I have a little bit of white sesame seeds and black sesame seeds, and they look so pretty, and they do add some texture and some flavor as well. And there you go. Sweet and smoky tofu bites. So you can enjoy them hot out of the oven like I just have. They're great cold. They're good mixed with your grains and your greens, great on top of a salad. Also a protein-packed snack. Wonderful for kids as well as adults. So easy to make, super flavorful. These will last for 5 days or so in the refrigerator. They will get eaten before that time frame, and we will make more. If you've enjoyed this recipe, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, come back and follow me for more hints, tips, and recipes about a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. I'm Tammy, and I help you get healthy and stay healthy one meal at a time.